Right, now that we've learned about all the averages, we're going to look at appropriate averages. So what we're going to do is you might be wondering if you've got a problem, which average should you use? Well, mode here. And two examples of when you should use the mode for either of these two problems. Common shoe size or the most popular video game. Those would be two examples. Now, common shoe size is given by numbers, but the most popular video game isn't, so for most popular video game, the only average you could do would be the mode. For shoe size, the reason why you would use the mode would be because the most common ones, there might be 2, and plus the median would go in between the two common ones and might give a size that doesn't actually exist, and the same thing for the mean. So the most appropriate one in these two circumstances would be the mode. And also, when we're going first, we want to talk about advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages of the mode would be it's easy to find, because you just look to see which number is the most common in your data. And the one disadvantage is there could be more than one mode, or if everything's there the same number of times, then of course there isn't a mode. So now let's talk about the median. The median is good for if data is not closely grouped. In other words, if it contains extreme values, because the median isn't affected by extreme values because it only takes the middle numbers of your data. So extreme values would either go to the front of your data or to the back, so it wouldn't use them values. So that's why the median's good if we've got extreme values. Because next one's the median, the mean, and this is good for closely grouped data, which means a low range. But the problem is it's affected by extreme values because, of course, it does use all the data. Using all the data is actually an advantage of the mean. Another advantage of the mean is it is quite easy to find, but sometimes you might be better off with a calculator. And also it can be used for further calculation, but it can't be found graphically, and it's affected by extreme values as we've just discussed. And for the median, what advantages would be, it's not affected by extreme values, of course, because it's used for ones that do contain extreme values. And I've told you what happens with them, so there's the reason why it doesn't affect the median. The disadvantage is the median might not exist in your actual data. Now, I've got an example down here, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to find the mode, the median and the mean. But this isn't an exercise in finding them, because we've learned that in earlier videos. We're going to analyse what it's saying. We're going to see whether the averages are good or not. So let's start with the mode, and then do the median and the mean. And then we're going to decide what, if we can, which was the best average for this data. Now I've got 6 pieces of data. I've got 2 10s and 2 15s, which occur the most. So the median is going to be 10 and 15 for the mode. And the median, we'll put the data in order. This is not too hard. We'll find the 2 middle ones. One way you can do this, just if you've got a long list and you can't keep track of where you're going, you can cross off the end ones. And we've got 2 15s in the middle. And when we add them up, we get 13 divided by 2 15, so the median is still 15. Now, the mean, what we do is, of course, we add up the data. And we'll divide by how many numbers we've got in the data. And let's just see what we get here. When we add these up, these numbers, will end up with 180. 6 pieces of data in here. And when we divide that, we get the mean as 30. So, analysing the results here, we had 2 values for the mode, which were 10 and 15. And notice that this 100 here is an extreme value. So the mean was affected by this extreme value, meaning that if the extreme value wasn't in the data, the mean would have been lower, more consistent with the data. So the mean was affected by an extreme value. We did get more than one mode, because the median doesn't consider this 100. Notice that the 100 goes to the end and it's not considered, with it being just the 2 middle values that are used in the median. I would say that probably the median was the best average to use in this particular example here. Of course, there's more examples that you can do, but you just analyse the results in the same way and use the advantages and disadvantages that are told in the video.